of the key takeaways I had was that people that the sharing should go sideways. The more we connect with the people in our community, that yes, you've gone to a breakout. Yes, we've listened to some incredible speakers, but it's the informal learning that we're doing on this couch in the lobby of the Hilton that can lead to the next idea, the next collaboration.
I was feeling so overwhelmed this morning, but now I don't want it to end. I don't want to go home. I don't want it to end. I guess for me, it was what Jim Clifton was expressing about this whole movement and what it's all about. So it's so much more about the top 5. We know that. It's so much more about the top 34. And I've come here and I've just seen what a massive movement it is with so many other tools and so many other things, and his motivation and other people's motivation about driving the economy, basically the world economy.
If you had to wrap up the summit in one word, what word would you use?
Intentionality, where purpose becomes actionable.
So what does that mean for you now going ahead?
For me, it's taking that purpose of the why and then acting on it. And so the summit actually crystallized for me performance. Performance not just on metrics or profit or numbers, but performance is success, whatever that might be. On my last action, I said, create the boss to coach framework. I already started it.
Omaha has been really cool. It's like the equivalent of, I would say, Wagga Wagga. It's slightly bigger than Wagga Wagga. It has the country town feel of Wagga Wagga, but is about the size of Canberra. When we were halfway through the first day, I was already going, I don't want it to end. I don't want it to end. So the biggest gold nugget I had was the conversations to have within your team. So the five coaching conversations.
Oh yeah, they're great. The 5 coaching conversations for development.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The networking is amazing because coaches help coaches.
Yeah.
This is the most generous community you'd ever want to meet. And to me, being able to help one another and not feel competitive, that is a very good question. I have to think about it. I really will probably review some of the most powerful breakout sessions that I attended and go through the slides to really glean more and figure out, okay, what can I do with this information?
Story. This morning, no, it was yesterday morning, I went out to my hotel room to open the doors of the lift, and who was in the lift but Jim Clifton.
And what happened then? What was
we went in there, and I'm not usually the first person to start a conversation. He looks at my top, which was similar to this.
Yeah.
Oh, Cascade. I've heard of that.
Oh,
so it was already, I was able to tell him what I was doing, how it's helping coaches, and then we walked across the concourse into the summit.
Yeah, summit.
Stand up for the summit. Oh, look, I came in 3 days ahead of time. I did the train the trainer, and I think that training to me was absolutely wonderful. It's the Discover Your Strengths program.
Yeah, fantastic.
So Charlotte and I are some of the first Australians to have done that particular training course, and we're taking that back to Australia, which is going to be great.
Awesome. And what are you going to do differently next week? What's like an action you've taken out of this summit?
Right, absolutely. Well, following on from the train the trainer, it's about actually putting into action who is the customers that we're going to go after.
Yep.
And putting an actual program together that's going to be both. One is an open enrollment program, and the other one is going to be a focused corporate program.
And the importance of the networking with everybody, I think, is the biggest takeaway for me.
Yep.
So I was just saying, we can go into the same session together, and 2 people can take completely different takeaways from it. So it's just been great to be able to sit down and download with people and have those conversations and appreciate what other people have taken away.
If there's one key action you're going to take out of this summit, what would it be?
Good question. I think it's probably going to be just to be more intentional with my conversations.
You presented at the summit.
Yes.
What did you talk about?
I talked about making strengths real. Like in a lot of organisations, I guess strengths is taught in a classroom, but that's just not the organisational context in which it shows up. Yeah. And so we talked about some of the things that we're doing in my organisation to make it much more real, anchored into the role and the task, the things that people will be doing with strengths. and making sure that is part of the training rather than training being something different in a classroom. Yeah.
Yeah, what's a key takeaway that you've taken out of the past 3 days?
Key takeaway for me, I guess, is we've got to kind of disrupting the traditional mindsets about what HR and training is all about, right? And those things like how we select people, how we develop people, how we, manage their performance throughout the employee life cycle.
I think this was the best one yet.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, yeah, you know what? The training was high caliber. Absolutely, which is workplace disruption. And if the workplace is not disrupted, I mean, we're in trouble. Or companies that don't disrupt and allow that.
And it's sandwiched well with what Jim was saying about the economy.
Right.
We disrupt the workplace, there's going to be a difference in how people engage,
yes,
and then the impact on the economy.
Because my key, so I'm going to just confess that it's disruption.
Yeah.
And let me just say that I'm coming for you. So,
so no, it's reconnecting. I think because my woo's so high, I love reconnecting and meeting new people, or meeting people that you've connected with online and then you get to meet them face to face. Yeah, I think what I emphasized in the session was every single organization is going through change at the moment. Yeah. So it's a great opportunity for all coaches and organizations to think about it from a different lens of what's the biggest challenge you're facing right now, the rapid pace of change, the impact that's having on people. People are feeling more stress, resilience is an issue. I think another key takeaway was slow down to speed up.
Yeah.
So when I'm coaching with people, I think my activator maybe gets in the way, or more when I'm running team sessions.
What'd you get out of this one?
Well, I actually learned a bit in your class. You had a great class.
Oh, thank you.
It was really good. So working with teams and talking about what to do after you do an exercise, that was very powerful.
Yeah, we had a good discussion about the power of the debrief and how important that is. And not skipping that, because I know some people are so keen to do the activity and move on.
And it goes quickly. So to spread that out, you helped with that.
Yeah.
You know, there were some new tools as far as different games and that we can do with people. I learned some in yours, but then there was another class that I went to. Yeah, that'll be good. And some different forms to pass out to managers. And
your first Strength Summit?
My first Strength Summit.
What stood out to you from the summit?
It's actually my pre-summit course.
Yes, which course did you do again?
I did BP10. So we know that, a lot of people would like to go into business, and this will help them identify what their talents are, because we cannot be everything. So BP10 has 10 talents.
Yeah. Now tell me, what's your key action, the thing you're going to do next when you're back in Sydney next week?
Is to form my board of directors.
What do you think?
Amazing experience.
Yeah? Tell me more.
I just loved being surrounded by like-minded people who are really committed to a common purpose, a common, furthering human development. One key insight was maybe the difference between what's, strengths and talents and how you can use those in your everyday life. But when it comes to running and operating a business, there are some certain core things that you need to be able to do. The next physical thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to identify some individuals or some groups that I need to get in front of.
More people, kind of the first takeaway I have, and it seemed like to me that there was more interaction between coaches, presenter actually talking about how to present.
Yeah, good.
That was a really good one. How to interact with, engage with an audience.
Yeah. What panel were you on this afternoon?
I was on the Builder Profile, the BP10.
Yeah, great.
So we had a breakout with that one. So they had coaches on a panel to talk about BP10 and how they used it. And so just getting to share that information with other coaches and really getting to see other coaches that are really actively looking at that as a tool for themselves.
Yeah.
Was really great.
Really enjoyed the keynote from Johnny C. Taylor.
He was awesome, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was awesome. As an HR professional, I was excited about that. So,
what did you feel about his statement about, HR is really needed right now.
Yeah.
However, maybe HR hasn't got systems or the processes we need.
It's true.
Yeah.
It really is, and I see it firsthand.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a great opportunity. I'm a director of recruiting, so I have a huge impact.
Yeah, yeah.
So we're going to be rewriting some interview guides this year and revamping our interview and selection process for our managers. And I'm trying to envision a more innovative way for candidates to apply.
Is that people are just hungry for this.
Yeah.
They are just hungry for it. When Murray and I collaborated on a book, and one of the things that I had in my chapter was when I first took StrengthsFinder, it just seemed like a beacon of light in a world that needed it.
To live it.
Right.
To bring that light, as you're saying,
right.
about it.
Right.
I love the word joy that you brought in too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of joy in the summit.
Absolutely. I've been to a lot of conferences in my life, and I remember when I came to the first summit and my friends were saying, well, what was that like? What was that like? And I said, I have never been in a place that it felt like everybody was on something, and they were on something. They were on the joy of strengths, but everybody, and this international community that it connects us to, never in my world would I think I'd have Murray guests from Australia, and Charlotte, and Farid from Egypt, and Manish from India, and all of these people that I really feel are my friends now.